name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Today is a traditional podcast episode where I'm going to be updating you on what I've been working on in the last week. I've been pretty productive this week, and the first thing that I want to show you is a finished object, and it's one of my 2023 whips, so I'm really pleased, and it's the Paul sweater by Morcaknits, and here it is. And I knit this in a woolly knits cone, 4-ply, which I held double. Now this sweater is definitely a big oversized cozy sweater, and I did wear it this week. It's going to be hard to show you on camera, but I will probably input some pictures and stuff so that you can get a good look. Now before blocking I was really uncertain, and this seems to be a running theme recently, and the difference it makes blocking your knits is astounding. But it's the first it's the most oversized sweater I've done. If you can see, I'll just sort of kneel here. I can't tell if you can see, but the sleeves turned out a perfect length for coziness. There's just a bit of ease here, and you can see the difference. And yeah, it was lovely wearing it this week because the weather has gone really cool where I live in the UK, gone down just to the high teens Celsius at the moment. So it was perfect that this was finished. And I'll just tell you how many grams it was, if I can find my notebook. Okay, sorry about that. Should have got this out before I started. And it was 590 grams in this sweater, which is great. So I've got 690 out in total so far for September, which is a really good start for the beginning of the month, especially when I'm going to Yarndale. So I'll just take this off. But yeah, really pleased with how this has turned out. The difference of the way the fabric is from before blocking to after blocking, it's just got such a lovely drape now, and it's so cozy. The one thing I do want to mention is this woolly knits merino yarn has bloomed beautifully, but I found it a little bit itchy. It's not massive, but just a little bit, especially around the neck area. So if you're sensitive, just bear that in mind. Highly recommend this pattern though to anyone who wants something nice and cozy and oversized for the autumn winter. I think that is going to be quite a staple, with me having done that in like more of a solid colour. There is a slight marl to it with the way the yarn is, but yeah, and the colour is Plater, I think. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to show you is the Underlace top by Lily Kate France. And I have done quite a bit on this week. I say quite a bit. Let's count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So again, this is one of my 2023 whips. And I'll just show you my progress. I do need to actually measure the length from the underarm now, so I can see how far I've got. I've finished all my waist decreases and stuff. Yeah, so really pleased. This is one you've seen before, and I'm just trying to do a bit each week. Not necessarily, I've not managed to do some every day, because you will see that I've been hyper focusing on a project that I cast on on Wednesday. But yeah, I have managed quite a few days to knit on this, and to be fair, this is absolutely perfect for knitting on when I'm editing, because I don't have to think and I don't even have to look at it. I can just keep knitting in the round, and doing a few rows every day is just helping me to make progress on that. That's done with the Fibre for the People yarn, which is a 50/50 merino cotton in the colourway Sky. The yarn's beautiful, and I think that'll be a lovely top once it's finished. Oh, and this is in one of my new bags. I've already showed you this. Tea Cake Makes. Now, as always, I've left one project at the back here, so I'll just get it and then I'll show you that one. Another thing that I have made progress on, not as much as I would have liked. Full honesty here, I've not done my 6 rows each day, but I am hoping over the weekend to catch up on what I should have done this week. There's just been a couple of days where I've been feeling under the weather, and I've just been working on one project that's just been keeping me quite engaged, and I will show you that shortly. Okay, I've got a progress keeper in, which I will move up again. This is my Advertence, which is a slanket shawl stroke blanket, and yeah, it's still ticking away. I've added in the new colour, but I think I'd done that last time, hadn't I? As you can, I'll just put this up to the screen, and you can see that I've only done this much. So I've done 2, 4, yeah, I've only done 12 rows, which is pretty bad in a week, and I've just decided to drop a stitch. Oh dear, I'll sort that out after. Yeah, so a bit of catching up to do, but I am thinking that I will do that either tonight or over the weekend, just so that, because I still do want to get this done before Christmas. I might need to do a little recce again of how many rows I've got left to do on that, and then, you know, reassess whether I try and do the catch up, or I just see if doing a few more rows each day will do it. I don't know what to do with that. I'll have a think about it. I have worked on one project which I can't show you because it is a gift knit, and I don't want the person it's for to see it. But I've just done a bit of that each day. And so the last project that I'm going to be showing you, and I seem to be getting through these quite quick, is, oh, I've also worked on my sock, but there'll be a video up on the channel about that for my box of socks. Hopefully you've seen that video, and you're going to follow along with that little series. And the final project that I've been knitting on, like I say, I cast it on 2 days ago, and I've just been loving it so much. And it's a pair of colourwork mittens, and I am using a Bird Street yarn mitten mix, which is a skein that is 250 grams in 2 separate colours for colourwork mittens, and they offered that on their site. And it's 75% merino, 25% nylon. It's a DK, so you get 50 grams of each. And hope you can see, this is my progress so far. I have got about, oh, my hair's all knit into it, sorry. I've got about 10 rows, I think, left to do at the top of the hand, and I'll just pop it on so you can see. Now, if you've been watching along and you've seen me knitting the colourwork socks, you'll know that I've had quite an issue with my gauge and with the colourwork socks being too tight to get over my heel. Now, what I did with this is straight away, because I know now that I generally with most patterns have to go up 0.5mm in needle size, I did that straight away for this. And I, for these mittens, which I'll put the name up on the screen because I can't remember, I think they're called the Winter Star, but I don't know the designer's name, sorry. But I straight away I went up half a needle size from what was recommended. So I did the cuff on a 3.5 and I've done the main body on a 4mm, I think it's a 4mm, yep, 4mm. And first of all, with this pattern, it is an old Norwegian cast on, which I've never done before, and it is so I had to look up a few videos to find out how to do that. Ended up being quite simple, quite I think it's kind of similar to the German twisted, which I have done a couple of times before. And what that meant was you used you did the old Norwegian using both colours. So you don't have to estimate a length of tail like with the long tail cast on, because you just have a small tail, do a slip knot with using both colours, and then you do the cast on and then you slip your slip knot off at the end. And what that means is that you end up both yarns joined to the project, as well as the benefit of not having to estimate the tail, so you don't waste any yarn, and you end up with a beautiful braid effect along, well, not a braid, but a nice twist for the cast on there along the bottom edge, which is very stretchy but looks neat. And then you end up with the other colour is the actual loop for the stitch. And it was quite straightforward. Once I got into the motion of doing it, I found it quite easy. Then I did do a Latvian braid along here around the bottom, and that was super easy. 3 rows, just doing pearls and moving your yarn in a certain way, and then you've got this beautiful braid effect along the bottom. So I've learned 2 new techniques there, which is fantastic. Now, I have been thinking about doing these colourwork mittens for quite some time. I had the yarn in stash, but then I was watching Florence Miller, and she'd done a beautiful pair of mittens, which I've got them in my queue, which will potentially be a next cast on. Now, when I was doing the cuff and I'd gone up the needle size, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a bit loose, and I was umming and ahhing if I'd made the right decision. But looking at the fit of these, it's absolutely perfect. So I'm really glad that I did do that. Excuse the state of my nails. Being a nail technician, you do think they'd be better, wouldn't you? But I've just not had time to do them this week. Left it too long and broke 2, because these are my natural nails. So I will be sorting them out over the weekend. Hold me accountable. Anyways, yes, so I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. It's a lovely yarn to work with. Now I am doing these on, and I'll just take it off and then I can double check. So I think that the needle I've got is 2 inches. It might be 1. Maybe I should just measure that. These needles are from the Chow Goo blue set, the little blue set, shorties, interchangeables. Right, so the actual needle size on this is 1.5, so that means the needle length is 3, and I've got an 8-inch cable on here. So I've got about 11 inches here. Now, I'd normally do something like this probably on a 9-inch. Being on the 12-inch, I have found that it has been at times difficult, because you start off with 48 stitches, and then you obviously you do your little thumb gusset here, and then you put those stitches on hold and you increase there, and then you do cast those back on, so you're back to the 48. But at times they have been quite stretched out, so it has been a bit taxing on my hands just being able to slide them round. But the benefit of that is that I think it has meant that it's stretched my floats out. There's been no option than my floats to be stretched out, so I think it's helped with my colour work tension, to be fair, which I'm really, really pleased about. And what I'll do is I'll put a picture up on the side of the other colour work mittens that I have been looking at. I'm wondering whether I would have something in stash that I could use, you know, like do a pair that's maybe black with a rainbow yarn that I'll hold, you know, because they're all 4-ply, but I've got plenty of single skeins, and I might be able to do the other pair with something I've got in stash, which would be kind of nice. Otherwise, I probably will just order another one of these mitten mixes. But I went and had a look on Bird Street Yarn website, and they didn't seem to have anything on their website, so I'm not sure if they have actually got any in stock at the moment. But I presume that they'll be bringing them back in stock at some point, especially with the autumn season. Oh, do you know of any other UK sites or dyers, or do you have any recommendations for good yarns for using for the mittens? They're 50 grams of each colour, so I don't know if that's the same for all mitten patterns. But yeah, so the last couple of days, that's the main thing I've been working on, but it's whipped up so quickly. I'm really pleased, and I think the colour work looks pretty neat, really. So yeah, and was there anything else? Oh yes, my rocket tee. If you watched my organising my wardrobe video, I did wear the rocket tee with the green clots this week, and I really liked wearing them. But what I've decided I want to do is I want to take out the I-cord that's on the bottom, pick up and knit one more stripe if I can find the colours, because I can't remember where I put them, and then I will do the I-cord again, but I'm going to do it on the larger needle size, and I think I did the sleeve ones on a 4.5mm, so I'm going to do that and see if that resolves the rolling up. But I really liked the fit of that top on me, and I liked it with the culottes. It did seem to go really well. The other thing I wanted to ask about is cardigan patterns, because I did talk about that in that video. I want to do some cardigans and possibly sweaters that are going to be good with dresses through the winter. So I do still wear quite a few dresses, not as many, but I do wear dresses with tights. And now I've got this one. This is a new dress. I think I showed it in that video, so hopefully you can sort of see it. It's a shirt dress, and it has a fastener thing. It's a lovely dress with tights and boots. I can wear this throughout the winter. The only thing is that it would be nice to have a cardigan to wear over this. Now I think that if I pick out, I'll show you on the sleeve there, some of the darker colour, I hope that's focusing, from the flowers, the darker blue, I think that that will go really nice with it. And I think for this style of dress, I'd need, rather than a cropped jumper, I think I'd probably, cardigan, I'd probably get away with something that's a little bit longer length and quite cosy. So if you've got any pattern recommendations, that would be great, because I am going to have a look. The only other thing I've got coming up is Yarndale, so if any of you are going to Yarndale, feel free to come and say hi. I can be a bit shy on first meeting people, but I'm very friendly and chatty, so me and Mona are going, and we're meeting up with Emily, who's here on YouTube as well, has a podcast. I have been thinking about plans for possible yarn purchases. I've showed you the sweater with the colour work, which I'll put another photo here so you can see it. I'm also wondering about the sweater I want to do for Christmas Day. Oh, and after sorting through my wardrobe, I had that little pile of separate sew pants and skirts that I want to work my way through making tops for, finding patterns and doing it. So what I'm going to probably do is start that in October, and I'm going to pick one item, and then I'm going to do some research and find a top that I can knit. And once that top's finished and off the needles, then I'll start with the next one. A few of those items are summer, probably going to be more spring summer garments, but if I get started on those now, they'll be done in time for that season, hopefully. And I don't think there's much more that I've got to say today. I've let you know my yarn's out. There's been nothing in. I've got no new acquisitions. Oh, what I did see on Amazon, I've been having a look at storage ideas. I'm probably going to clear out that top shelf and have a think about how I can make that a bit more usable as my knits increase. But I have seen, instead of that grey stacker that I've got, which doesn't really fit in that space, and I don't know if you saw, but it's a bit long and the bottom one is crushed a bit, so you can't really use it effectively. I've found some stackable, foldable baskets that are like a drawer that you can pull out. Now, I thought this was quite a good idea. The ones I've seen on Amazon, they've got great reviews for being sturdy, and you get 4 in the pack. What I just need to do is measure up and check, because that's hanging stacker as well. What I do find about that is there is a space behind it, so potentially you could put something in there that's a bit deeper. I don't know if that will add storage or not, but it might just make it easier in these drawers anyway, not to be all falling about. So it's just an idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them yet, but I'll show you a picture on here, and then you can see as well if you need some ideas for that. And yeah, that's everything I've got to say today. It feels like it was quite a quick episode, but I do feel like I've been quite productive. I've only got the 2 knits left from 2023, which is my OLE mittens, which I really need to pick them up and look at the pattern, and my underlace top, which I showed you. I've got the art, so future plans, that's what I've not mentioned for this coming week. Sunday I will be doing an update on my box of socks and the progress I've made in that first pair, so look out for that video. And I have actually caked up some yarn for some gift knits that I want to start. I'm going to be doing 3 muscle boroughs for gifts, and I've also caked up my yarn ready for my porcelain sweater, and hoping that I'm going to be casting that on very, very soon. So I hope you've enjoyed watching and you've got a bit of crafting done while watching. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to and what you've been knitting on and what you're casting on next. Oh, I didn't say, sorry, those, I'm jumping all over the place today, but those mittens are actually for Laura Penrose's From Me to Me mal that she's doing at the moment. So that was the first thing that I've cast on as part of that, and probably I will cast on my porcelain sweater, and maybe it'll give me incentive to get that finished and off the needles. So yeah, are you going to join in with that, Mal, with the from me to me? I think the premise behind it is that at this time of year we always end up as knitters or crafters often making a lot of gift knits or gift items, and you know, it gives you an excuse to focus on something that you want to knit for yourself that you've not done for quite some time, or make. Okay, so yeah, that definitely is the end of the video now. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed. Happy knitting and have a fantastic week. Bye.